Yo, what is up, you guys? So, I pretty much have a handheld from all the major handheld manufacturers. We have the A&E Okun, the Lenovo Legion Go. We even have the AYN Loki Max. We have One X Player 2. We have, of course, the Valve Steam Deck. We have the ROG Ally. We even have the AOK Zoe A1 Pro, one of my favorites. One company that I've been the most reluctant to get devices from has been GPD. So we have the GPD Win 4 here. I was very reluctant to get this because I like a larger handheld, and this device is pretty much one of the smallest handhelds on the market right now. It has a 6-inch display. The joysticks are pretty small. The buttons are pretty small. Everything about this is about being compact, but I gave it a try and I do believe it is a great device. And then I pretty much swore that I would never get the laptop style devices. And here I am with the new GPD Win Mini. I do think it is an amazing device. I did, of course, add the grips to it. You'll see a video on that. I added the grips to it just to give it a little bit more ergonomics here, and I do think this is an amazing device. And you guys, they got me to do it. I swore that I would never do it, but they got me to do it. So today we are going to be checking out the GPD Win Max. I know it's the 2023 edition and we're in 2024, but they finally got me to do it. I went ahead and picked up the GPD Win Max 2023 7840U. You guys, I promised I wouldn't get these laptop devices, but I said, you know what? If I'm gonna, stand on business, I have to, at least give it a try. So today we're gonna crack it open. We're gonna give it a try, see what it's all about. So let's not waste any time. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so we have the GPD Win Max 2 here. This is the 7840U. 32 gigabytes of RAM, 2 terabytes of storage. Let's not waste any time. Let's get into it and check it out. Here's my handy dandy unboxing knife, safety first as always. I'm not even sure if I'm excited for this one. I don't know how to feel because I always said, you know what, I would never get these the laptop style devices, and you heard me say that a lot on the channel here. And to me, the Win Max 2 is, I don't know, it doesn't really feel like a handheld. It feels more like a laptop or like a netbook style device. So I didn't really even give it a second glance, but I said, you know what, it's a new year. Let's try some new things. And even though this is the 2023 model, I think that it's time to at least give it a shot. I may change my mind. So here we have the GPD Win Max 2 here. Let's get this out of the box. It is a beefy boy, pretty heavy. We're gonna weigh that versus some other devices, see how the weight compares. Let's just see what else is in this box before we check it out. We have some paperwork. I'm guessing this is a user manual. So you're gonna get your user manual in a few different languages here, letting you know all of the features and functions. So take that, plug that to the side, and make sure you keep that for future reference. We have a nice little USB-C. It's not braided. I would like to see a braided cable. I do like a braided cable. It's not braided, but it does seem to be a high quality cable here. We also have a pretty large power brick here. This looks like, yeah, this is a 100 watt power brick, so that's good to see. We got 100 watt. So let's put that back in there. Set this to the side. Pretty simple unboxing. It is presented pretty well, but there's nothing sort of extra in there. Now here we have the GPD Win Max 2 itself. Let's get that out of there. And here it is, you guys. The GPD Win Max 2. Let's take a look at the outside here, see what we have. As far as ports goes, we have, of course, headphone jack, that new Oculink port that does 63 gigabits per second for eGPUs, full-size HDMI. That's good to see. We have 2 USB-C ports. I believe one of them is USB 4 as labeled there. We have another USB-C, I believe that's 3.2. Let's see what else we have on here. We have a SD card, micro SD card, and regular size SD card. We also have another slot on the back for an SSD. That's a 2230 size SSD, so that's going to be the SSD you find in the ROG Ally and the Steam Deck. And then we have a a 4G module. I actually do have a 4G module in my A&E Cocoon, so I may put that in here, check it out, see if we can actually get 4G on here. Now, let's see. On the front, we have this is the power button as well as a fingerprint reader, so that is nice to see. Now, let's open this thing up, you guys. The GPD Win Max 2 2022 edition with the 7840U. That hinge does feel good. So that does give me some confidence here. So let's check it out, you guys. Here it is, the GPD Win Max 2. Does it have any life? Look at this thing, you guys. This is ridiculous. This is huge. Let's see how it feels in the hand. Oh my goodness. Yo, people actually playing games on this? This is absurd, you guys. I've never held this in my hands before. Hold up. There's buttons on the back. I didn't realize there was actually buttons on the back here. There's two buttons on the back. So that should be good for like hotkeys and stuff like that. Yo, you guys, this is absurd. I gotta zoom out. I gotta zoom out a little bit. This is absurd, you guys. The size of this thing. Yo, guys are using this for actual gaming is just crazy to me. But let's see how it feels in the hand. My initial impressions are, oh, straight into the BIOS. Okay. Did I press something that would send me into the BIOS? I'm not sure, but I'm in the BIOS now. So let's see what we have here. Total memory, 32 gigabytes, current memory speed. Oh, memory speed is at 6400 megahertz. Can we change the memory speed? I'm gonna go through the BIOS here, because I guess maybe I press something to open the BIOS, but I'm gonna go through the BIOS and see what options we have, and then I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so I can actually change the RAM speed here to 7500 mega transfers per second. I'm not sure if that's gonna break anything. I don't want to break it before we actually get in, but I'm gonna set it to 7500 mega transfers per second just because I can, and it was in the BIOS. So I'm just gonna take a chance, you guys. I don't know why it went to the BIOS automatically. Also, the VRAM one here is set to 3 gigabytes. 3 gigabytes VRAM by default. We definitely want to take that up. 3 gigabytes is not a lot. This is a 32 gigabyte system, so I'm not sure why 3 gigabytes is default. I'm gonna set that to 8 gigabytes. So yeah, I changed the VRAM speed as well as the memory speed, sorry, the RAM speed, as well as the VRAM amount to 8 gigabytes. So I haven't even got into the system yet. So let's just do that and let's get into the system. If that breaks anything, I'll let you guys know to not do that when you get it. But it went into the BIOS when I turned it on. So I said, might as well just do the settings that I was going to do anyway. So save changes. Now cross your fingers and hope that this thing actually turns on. It is turning on now, you guys. This thing is a straight up, this is a laptop, you guys. This is a straight up laptop. And the fact that this is a handheld, like my mind is being kind of blown here that people are actually using this as a handheld. I did order some grips for it. I'm going to put it through some testing to see if I actually need the grips. It just feels so absurd to be holding this thing and playing it. Now I have pretty large hands, as you can see here, so it's not really too big for my hands. It's just so absurd. Like, as you can look at it in relation to something like the GPD Win Mini. Look at the size difference between the GPD Win Mini and the GPD Win Max. It's like, I don't know. It seems like it's like 4 times the size. Like, it's like you took this, times it by 4. It's probably closer to times it by 2, but it's just like so much larger in scale than the GPD Win Mini. But the controls are like the same size. So like the joysticks, the buttons, that all kind of feels the same as the GPD Win Mini. And I will say the buttons feel good. Okay, it is alive now. The screen does look very bright, I must say. I didn't adjust the brightness on my camera, so it's probably gonna look overexposed. It is very bright, I must say. You guys, I would never get over the fact that this is a full laptop. How does the controls feel? Okay, so the controls actually feel pretty good. I do like that back button in the back. I'm able to click that. It may even be usable enough for like actual games. I usually have the back button on my GPD devices as like, one is for like opening the the control panel, and the other one I have it set to like A button or something like that. But this is harder to press when you have the grip on it. But this one on the Win Max, it may be in a good enough position that I can just press it without having to worry about ergonomics. Now, I will say it's so large that you have so much to hold that it kind of like, to me, it's flat, but it's like it's so big that it's like kind of ergonomic. It's hard to explain, but it's so big that it's like it's ergonomic. It's so large that it is ergonomic. Now, I will say that if you want to type on it, you're not going to be thumb typing on this unless, what is a word that you can type while, thumb typing it? You could probably type hi. Hi is like hi, Hi, maybe. But it's really hard to thumb type on it. You have to sort of like let it go. I can hold this up in one hand. It is pretty heavy, but it's not much heavier than the A&E Coon. So I'm used to holding like a large device. I do eat my spinach, so I will say it's not too heavy for me. So I could pick it up with one hand and type on it like this, but it's probably best to, set it down if you're going to be typing. Now, as far as getting to the trackpad while gaming, you can get your like thumb into the corner of the trackpad if you reach, but don't expect to be using the trackpad in conjunction with like the buttons or anything like that. You really have to, move your hand off of the controls to get to that trackpad. Now, I will say I'm going to set this up, and then I'm gonna do some dedicated videos for like performance and everything like that. So that won't be this video. Sorry if you're waiting for performance. I'm gonna do a dedicated video for performance on this. But of course, it's a 7840U, so you should know how it's gonna perform. But of course, we're gonna put it to the test. The next thing I'm gonna do in this video after I set it up and come back is I'm gonna do like a size and weight comparison between all the handhelds we have here. So stay tuned for the size and weight comparison because I think it's gonna be very interesting. Okay, so we have our scale here. Let's check out the weight of the GPD Win Max 2. I know it's a pretty heavy boy here. So it is 1,041 grams. It officially makes it the heaviest handheld that I have. You can just see it in relation to the GPD Win 4 here. GPD Win 4 is about half the weight of the Win Max 2 here. So this is around 600 grams. So almost half the weight of the GPD Win Max 2 here. So I'm just going to get the weight. I'm going to make that the new 0 so we can see the difference in weight between all the other devices. Here we have the GPD Win Mini. You can see the difference in size here. And then the difference in weight is pretty substantial. It is 464 grams lighter than the Win Max 2. The ROG Ally with a case is still 265 grams lighter. The Steam Deck with a mod case on it is still lighter. It is 258 grams. And we have the A&E Coon. We got the A&E Coon here, which was previously my most heavy device. That is 80 grams lighter. So not much, but still 80 grams. Let's check out the Legion Go. Legion Go is 184 grams lighter. A1 Pro. A1 Pro is 315 grams lighter, which is surprising actually. This is the One X Player 2, 187 grams lighter. And last but not least, we have the small boy here, the AYN Loki Max is 466 grams lighter. So you can see that the Win Max 2 is a very large device, and this is with it closed. So with the Win Max 2 closed, it's like twice the size of the AYN Loki Max here. But then when you open it up, it just becomes a massive device here. You can see it fully open here. It is a very large device, and it pretty much dwarfs anything that you compare it to. You can look at the A&E Coon, which is huge, and it's still like half the size of the Win Max 2 when it's open. And even comparing that to the ROG Ally here, you can see the ROG Ally is tiny in comparison to the Win Max 2 when it's open. Steam Deck here. Even the Legion Go looks small in comparison to the GPD Win Max 2, which is crazy to think how large this device actually is. Well, you have to understand that it's like a whole laptop. Like I keep saying, it's not even really a handheld first. It's really a laptop that you can use as a handheld, rather than a handheld that you can use as a computer if you need it. It's like it's a laptop first, and then the handheld is like, oh, let's add some controls to it. So yeah, it is the heaviest handheld that I have ever tested here to date, and it may be the heaviest one for a while, just because it is a very beefy device. I forgot to mention two USB-A ports on the side here. So this could be a complete computer replacement here. It has the keyboard, trackpad, even has a webcam there, which is very interesting. You could use this as your entire computer setup for all your computer needs, and then you do some games on the side. That's what I think this device is really for. So as far as what I think about it, my initial thoughts, I really do think this device is more geared towards people who want like a productivity device, something that they can really throw in a backpack and take with them. That's not, as large as like a 13-inch or 14-inch laptop, but they wanted to, do some gaming on the side. But I will say my initial impressions is that the controls, don't really feel so good when you're, using it in like handheld mode. It almost feels like I should connect the external controllers to this and then just use the 10-inch screen as like, as you would with a laptop if you was going to use a controller, because the controls, aren't the best. Especially it doesn't, at first I thought it was ergonomic because it was so large to hold, but actually gaming on it, it feels like it's like kind of like top heavy, because I'm holding it closer to the top and then the screen is up. And even if I angle the screen to get like a better balance, it seems kind of like top heavy. So it's not so ergonomic. And I feel like the controls, my hands want to be a little bit further down just to get a better balance on it. But the pivot point here makes it a little top heavy feeling when gaming, and it's not the most comfortable, especially because the controls are so small, that it's just not the most ergonomic experience. I will say that I have like a grip attachment coming for it that may improve the controls, but just from my initial impressions, I still feel like this is not the device for me. I gave it a good try, just my initial impression. I'm going to continue to test it, continue to give it a fair and honest, try. But just my initial impressions, it does feel like a device that was not made for someone like me. I like a device that is like a dedicated handheld, that is like just a screen with, the controls on the side. Even the Anio Q, which is large, it is much more ergonomic in the hands. It has a nice grip. And even though the screen is pretty large here, it does feel much more ergonomic to play, and your hand is going to be much more happy in the long term while gaming. This feels like not so comfortable. It feels like, just rest it down, prop up that screen, get a controller and play like it that way. And if you forget your controller for any reason, you have like a backup. Like that's what I guess that's my initial assessment, is that it feels like this controller that is attached is like a backup if you forget your actual controller. That's just my initial impressions. Now of course I'm going to continue to test this. I'm going to come to you guys with more videos on this, but yeah, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you think that the GPD Win Max is the best device on the market. Maybe it's the best one that you have experienced. It may fit your needs better than mine, so I'd like to hear that in the comments below. Leave a comment down below, and as always, make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell, all that great YouTube stuff. And I'm going to continue to test this, give it a free try, and I'm gonna continue to bring you guys more Barely Average to your content. So yeah, I'm gonna go test this out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.